Hey everybody, welcome right back to the channel. Everybody, welcome right back to the channel. Listen, man, this weekend's been amazing. And it's only gonna get better, obviously, during the week, but this weekend was magical for the NBA and college basketball, for men's college basketball as well, man. It's been flat out legendary, flat out amazing stuff. Um, Let me tell y'all something, man. But before we get into all that stuff, before I tell you everything, before we just get into everything, my name is Isaiah Austin. And welcome back to the IDA Kings video production channel. If you like the videos, hit the like button on the videos. If you like the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know when I post and upload new videos, hit that bell notification for me. Okay. Before we even get into the games, the men's hockey team in the Olympics, for the USA, they won gold. Had a game winning goal in overtime and extra. I think sudden death. Um, and a lot of shout out to all the Olympians that won, of all the countries that played in too. They shout out to them. They did a great job throughout the Olympics. Did an amazing job and everything like that. Um, Again, back into it, man. The NBA's been great. College basketball's been great. We can start with the NBA, man. I mean, Saturday was really good. I mean, over the weekend, Saturday was really, really great. The Suns, I seen that game, watched that game. The Suns and Magic were battling out. They went to two overtimes. Great games from so many different players. Uh, but down the stretch, Jalen Green, uh, um, in second overtime, ended up having a game-winning three-pointer in the corner. Made a game winner, clearly a game winner. Flat out fantastic. Hit the game winner to win by three. A great game by them. The Pelicans ended up beating the 76ers on Saturday as well, 126 to 111. They did a great job against the 76ers. Okay. The Heat and the Grizzlies played. The Heat destroyed the Grizzlies 136 to 120. Okay. And the Pistons, they keep looking good. They're clearly the best team in the NBA right now. There's still a little bit of ways to go. But the Pistons won the game 126 to 110 against the Bulls. And then the Spurs ended up beating the Kings. The Spurs are a really great team. They were really great. They've been playing real great all year long. They've been fantastic. Wemby's fantastic. Fox is great. Castle's been amazing. I mean, they just got so many great players from top to bottom. The Knicks and Rockets game was really fun. The Rockets were up 18 with about 10 minutes and 34 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And I think Jose Alvarado, the guard, he had 8 points in the fourth quarter, four rebounds, 5 assists. He had so many different steals. He dominated the fourth quarter. The reason why I think they won the game was because of his fourth quarter. It's flat out amazing. Without him, they probably don't win the game. And they come back, beat the Rockets by 2 points. That was a legendary, fun game down the stretch. Defense was dominant in that fourth quarter. And, and it was really crazy, man. They got rips and steals like it was nothing. Another crazy thing that happened, obviously Sunday, was the Warriors went on a wild run. First, they were already doing great, right? They were doing great. Then the Nuggets ended up getting on a run and started getting into the Warriors really bad. The Warriors started missing some shots. The fourth quarter, there was like a 3 to 4 minute stretch of maybe longer. The Warriors just dominated, and I mean dominated in that fourth quarter like it was nothing. And they did it without Steph Curry, without Jimmy Butler, without Draymond Green. They did it without Kuminga, and I think Kuminga wasn't even playing, and Porzingis. There was like 5 different players that weren't playing, 5 to 7 players, and I mean they only had like 9 players that they could even play, and most of the other players were injured. It was unbelievable, and the Warriors ended up winning that game. That was a fantastic game from them. Another close game for the Mavericks. They were in another close game. Most of their games is close. They ended up winning against the Pacers 134 to 130 in Indiana. The Hornets ended up beating the Wizards. Okay. The Celtics ended up beating the Lakers. It was 111-89. I heard rumors that LeBron and JJ Redick got into it in the locker room. That happens. That happens in sports. I ain't worried about stuff like that. That happens, right? I've known situations where, coaches get into it, players get into it, other players. That happens, right? It's no big deal. I think it'll be fine. Another game that was big time was the 76ers bouncing back from the loss on Saturday, coming back and beating the Timberwolves on the road. That was a big game they needed. And the Timberwolves dropped the big game after, remember, winning, I believe they won on Friday. So was tough to lose that game at home. The Knicks ended up coming back with another great win, 105-99. Great defense again, like they did, on Saturday. The Trailblazers beat the Suns 92-77. That was a great defense game from the Trailblazers. Did some great job locking them down. And the Magic 111-109 against the Clippers. That was a big win for the Magic. The Magic needed that bad. The Magic needed that bad right there, man. Big win on Sunday for them. Now, let me tell you something. Monday and Tuesday, there's going to be double headers on Peacock, and stuff like that on Monday and Tuesday. No, one of the Peacock games for Monday is going to be Spurs and Pistons. I cannot wait. That could be a finals preview. I mean, that could be a big-time finals preview. Pistons versus Spurs, man. Cade Cunningham is in that MVP conversation, and he might end up winning MVP because a lot of players like Shea, Jokic, Luka, they all could not be eligible. We'll see how that goes. Cade and Jaylen Brown got to be in that conversation. If those three are not eligible somehow because of the missed games, of not hitting that 65 games threshold, and stuff like that. And they've been legit injured too. That's the crazy part. They've been legit injured. And those are players that will play. If they're not injured and they're not like LeBron was injured at the beginning of the year, but like Steph also, some of these players, they play the game. So the players who actually were missing games actually play. And it's unbelievable. And the doctors tell them to sit because, it's about the long haul. It's about the playoffs. So that's the goal for them. But I can't wait for that one, man. Wemby, can't wait to see him play. Can't wait to see Cade play. I can't wait to see this game. This game's going to be fun at 7 p.m. on Peacock. I know I got to work in the morning, but I might have to stay up, okay? Because tonight's going to be a good night right here. Okay, the Kings versus Grizzlies, that's coming on today as well. The second game that's coming on Peacock is Jazz versus the Rockets. The Rockets, we don't know. We should win the game, but we'll see. Should win the game. The Jazz, they be competitive in a lot of these games too, man. So, you never know what's going to happen there. On Tuesday, the 76ers play the Pacers at 7 p.m. Okay, the Wizards play the Hawks. The Hawks are trying to obviously stay within 9th, 10th, 8th, trying to climb up as far as they can. The Mavericks play the Nets as well. 7:30. This is going to be a big one too. The Raptors are 34-23. They play the Thunder, who's 44-14. That could be a big one for the Raptors. They need that win. Okay, that's a big one. The Cavs and the Knicks. That's going to be the first Peacock. One of the first games on Tuesday for the doubleheader on Peacock. Cavs versus Knicks. That's going to be a fun one. Can't wait for that one as well. That's going to be real fun on Tuesday night. Okay, at 7:30. The Hornets and Bulls play. Okay, the Hornets and Bulls play too. That's going to be another fun, another good one. That could be entertaining. Okay, as well. The Hornets are, if I'm not mistaken, they are the 10th seed, and they are fending off, I believe, the Bulls and the Bucks for that 10th seed. Oh, speaking of the Bucks are 24-31, and they play the Heat on 8 p.m. 31-27 in Milwaukee. At 8 p.m., the Warriors play the Pelicans. I can't wait to see that. See if Zion play too, because Zion's been balling when he plays for sure. The Celtics play the Suns. That is going to be a fun one as well. That's going to be a real good one right there. The Timberwolves, they play the Portland Trailblazers. That could be a sneaky good one right there. That could be a real sneaky good one. That's going to be on Peacock too. That's a sneaky good one. That's a sneaky good one. Portland is playing well. They fighting, clawing. They have been really, really impressive. The Timberwolves, again, they have some moments where they win, and there's some moments where they like, dang, they probably shouldn't have lost that game. But they got a chance, man. They're on the road. They got to find a way to get a win. And the Lakers are trying to bounce back against the Magic. The Magic are 30-26. That Magic team is a little bit of disappointment, but they are dealing with injuries too, though. I'll tell you that. The team in the East, they deal with a lot of injuries right now. But the Lakers have a chance to get a win, go 35-22, and the Magic have a chance to try to get that 31st win and try to get, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they might be the 7th seed. So they try to get to that 6th seed if they can, if they're not there already. So that's just the 2 days, and the week's going to be crazy. We'll get into that, in the next few days, man. There's going to be fun in basketball, man. There's going to be fun down this week in basketball when it comes to the NBA. And college basketball is going to be great too, okay? It's going to be great during the week, okay? But Saturday and Sunday were magical. Saturday was magical. Florida beat Ole Miss, okay, 94-75. Florida is a really good team. They're a tough team to play against. They have probably one of the toughest schedules in the country for sure. St. John's ended up beating Craigington. St. John's is really fantastic. Okay, they were really a fantastic basketball team. Flat out amazing. They are really good. They ended up beating UConn. Okay, and by the way, remember Craigington too. If y'all didn't know, they ended up upsetting UConn. Okay, on the road. Okay, they end up coming in on the road and beat UConn. So that's a real good one right there. That's a real good one. Okay, real good one. Florida State ended up beating Clemson in a close one, 70-65. Clemson is officially probably on that bubble now. Okay, Cincinnati, this is legendary. Cincinnati did something historic. They beat Kansas. Kansas barely loses at home, especially against ranked teams, let alone unranked teams. It's like almost impossible. Cincinnati unranked ended up beating Kansas 84-68. That speaks a lot about it. Peterson is getting crucified for not playing as many games, but also they think he's taking himself out and all this other goofy stuff, and they think he's sitting out on purpose. And man, they question his character. That's unacceptable, especially from other people like the Jay Williams and other players. That's just disrespectful, especially when they don't have proof that he's doing that. And then even his coach came out and said that's not how it's going. So it's just disrespectful, man. You gotta be careful of these people, man. They'll sell out. A lot of players will sell out. Stephen A. Smith and them, they say that they talking heads. That's one thing, but when you're a player and you played the game and you play like even if you only played in high school, you just gotta really be careful, right? Doing that, especially if you play college and NBA. If you play college and professional, you shouldn't be really questioning people's toughness and questioning if people want to play if you don't have evidence that they don't want to. If you don't have evidence of that, that's just you just don't want to do that. You don't want to do that to players, man, men or women. So you gotta be careful doing that. But overall, Kansas ended up getting a loss to Cincinnati. Cincinnati got a big win against Kansas. Big win against Kansas. North Carolina beat Syracuse 77-64. That was a heck of a game. That was without Caleb Wilson, who been hurt for the last few games, injured and stuff like that. So, they without him for a little bit. But man, that was an impressive win right there. Impressive win on the road against Syracuse. Nebraska beat Penn State, man. Nebraska's having a fantastic year, great year. Unbelievable year, man. Top 10 in the country, doing a great job. Great job. Virginia, they got back on track again, man, this season. They're balling. They beat Miami 86-83 in a real tight battle. Miami gave them a lot of the pressure, a lot to handle, but Virginia ended up getting that win out. Okay. Vanderbilt got upset again against Tennessee. The SEC, a dangerous conference, though. So you got to be understanding. Dayton beat the Quizny. Sorry if I got the name wrong. Dayton ended up getting a big win there. Pitt ended up beating Notre Dame as well. So there's been some crazy games so far on this Saturday. Craziness. Louisville ended up beating Georgia Tech, and Texas Tech beat Kansas State. But there was a big win today. Big game with Arizona and Houston. That was a fun game to watch, man. Really good. Different great defenses. Arizona used their size on them. They ended up getting a big win, 73-66 against Houston. Houston, this is, I think, their third loss in second to third loss in 2 to 3 years they played in the Big 12. This their, seriously, they don't lose at home. It's their like second or third loss in 2 or 3 years at home in the Big 12. Flat out amazing, unbelievable. And they play some big games. Okay, they play some masterful games. Arizona did a great job, got a big win and stuff there. Maryland beat Washington, a real tight game right there, as well. Colorado ended up beating Oklahoma State. Georgia beat Texas. Okay, that was a big win for Georgia. They needed that one. Arkansas needed a big win against Missouri. Okay, 94-86, because I think they lost a few games ago. Oregon ended up beating USC. USC's in real trouble. They can't lose to teams like Oregon at home. They're already on the bubble. Boise State ended up beating San Jose State. Okay, SMU ended up beating Boston College. Okay, they had a big win against Boston College. Big win against Boston College. That was a great win for them. Great win for them. TCU ended up beating West Virginia by a few points, 60-54. UConn ended up coming back beating Villanova. Villanova's not a bad team either. They came back and beat them. Alabama ended up winning 90-83 against LSU. And LSU, that was a tough game, hard-fought game right there, grinded-out game right there. That was a real tough one. This one was magical. This one was real special. Michigan was the number one team in the country for a reason. Okay? They've been dominating teams all over the place. They played Duke. Their only loss was to Wisconsin, and Wisconsin shot the ball out like it was nothing. Duke ended up coming in winning the game. Cameron Boozer almost had a triple-double. If he didn't get into foul trouble, okay, he probably gets the triple-double. Cameron Boozer is the real deal. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he went number one in the draft. That's how good he is. He's that special. He is that creative. He's really good. He could post up. He could shoot the mid-range. He could shoot the three. He could dribble. Okay, he can make plays in the mid post. He can make plays in the low post. He can make plays from the 3 point line. He passes, rebounds, and dominates the game. He shoots at all three levels. He is really that good. And Michigan is as advertised though. They are as advertised. I got to give y'all credit for that. They are as advertised. That could be a national championship game. But that was a fun one. Now another fun one. Let me tell you something. Illinois was blowing the crap, the cow manure out of UCLA. Okay, they were beating them bad. Then UCLA started grinding on them. They started getting into them. Okay, and then all of a sudden, UCLA did something real magical. They had a play, inbounded. Okay, they ran down full court, hit a game-winning layup, ended up winning 95-94. That was so magical, and that could put them in the tournament if they keep winning a few more games to end the year. Flat out amazing. That was fun. That was an amazing game. I can't lie. Illinois blew a big opportunity to get that win in UCLA. They did choke. I will be honest, they did choke. Okay. Belmont versus Indiana State. Belmont ended up winning 87-70. Indiana State. Illinois State versus Bradley. Bradley ended up beating Illinois State 74-60. Okay. New Mexico ended up beating Fresno State in a tight game, 80-78. Real tight game. Wyoming beat Grand Canyon. I mean, some of these smaller games were real good too. Texas A&M and Oklahoma. Auburn needed this win. They have the toughest schedule in the entirety of the country, but they were I think they were 14-12 at the time. I think they're now 15-12 if I'm not mistaken, because they beat Kentucky 75-74. Great win by Kentucky. They needed that. Great win by Auburn. I'm sorry. They needed that win against Kentucky. Real stuff. The head coach was bad at Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? If you watch that interview, it was crazy. He basically said, I think they were cheating and giving them all foul calls and stuff. But I mean, they were, but I think, some of the fouls weren't. But I think Kentucky, there were some fouls that Kentucky should have at least got rewarded for and stuff like that. It should have been more consistency in that game. Gonzaga ended up being Pacific 71-62. UCF ended up beating Utah 73-71. That was a real close game too. Nevada beat Utah State. That was a big win for Nevada, and they needed St. Clara needed this win too. I think they're the first four teams in. Depending on who you talk to, I think ESPN and CBS. I think they have them in the first four in or something like that. They needed that win bad right there. But they have chances too. If they could beat Gonzaga and St. Mary's, you know what I'm saying? That could be a clutch situation too right there. You get what I'm saying? So that could help them push themselves in to the tournament because Gonzaga's ranked and St. Mary's, they're close to being ranked. They're real good teams. Real great teams. You know that. And then Santa Barbara lost in final overtime to Hawaii. UC San Diego ended up beating UC Irvine. Okay. St. Mary's beat Washington State 83-67, and this was a big win for BYU. They needed this. Iowa State was on a roll, beat Kansas and Houston, but they came in the BYU country, Cougar country, and they sat there and lost. BYU lost 79-69. Abanta has been amazing. Like I said, man, he's probably the second best player in the draft. Okay, along with having Peterson number one and Boozer number 3. That was greatness right there. That game was great by him and by BYU. Great stuff right there, man. A lot of big games too. Ohio State was hanging in there with Michigan State on Sunday, but they ended up losing to Michigan State 66-60. That was a tough one for them. Real tough one for them on Sunday. All right, Tulane beat Rice. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Tulane ended up beating Rice. Wisconsin, who was still ranked 24, ended up beating Iowa 84-71. Okay, Ohio State, I think, plays Iowa coming up next, if I'm not mistaken. But, hey, I can't wait, though. Monday's going to be fantastic. North Carolina and Louisville, they play each other. Okay, North Carolina and Louisville play each other. Rank 18 versus rank 24. Can't wait. That's on ESPN. That's why I told you I might have to stay up late for this one. I might have to be up a little bit late for this one. I can't lie to you. Okay, Stephen F. Austin's 25-3. They play New Orleans. The Stephen F. Austin, they're trying to win as many games as they can so they can get in that tournament. McNeese is also trying to do the same thing, 23-5. Okay, they're trying to beat 16-12 UT Rio Grande. They're trying to beat the Grande. Okay, that's what they're trying to do. Okay, but this one's another big one. Kansas has another chance of being at home down there in the farmhouse in Houston. I cannot wait for that one too. I told y'all, man, I might, and I want to apologize to my job, man. I might be sleepy, but I'm telling you right now, the game's got to be watched. The game's got to be watched on Monday, man. Games got to be watched on Monday. Okay, games have to be watched on Monday. And then there's going to be some other good ones too. Miami of Ohio is 27-0, man. They're ranked 21 in the country. Okay, they play Eastern Michigan. Okay, they are getting slept on. That is a fantastic basketball team from top to bottom. Now, Duke is ranked number 1 in the country. They also play on ESPN on Tuesday against Notre Dame on the road. That's going to be a fun one. NC State is really good too. This Tuesday, I told y'all this Tuesday going to be special now. Okay, because let me tell you something. NC State good, but they go into Virginia and they 24-3 and they ranked 11. Y'all got to be careful. Cincinnati might have upset again on their mind. They are on the road. They play Texas Tech. They upset on their mind. Dayton's a fantastic team, 18-9. St. Louis is going to have a lot to give them. They are ranked 23 in the country and they have a chance to beat Dayton. That's a real great team right there. West Virginia and Oklahoma State both 16-11. That's going to be a fun one. Okay, Indiana. This is a must win. Okay, this is a must-win. They play Northwestern, who's 11-16. They need to go 18-10. They need to go 18-10. They need that win ASAP. Okay, they need that win bad. Okay, Kent State needs this win too. They're 20-7. They're trying to be one of those teams in the MAC that makes it. Akron is 22-5. They're trying to also get in, and Buffalo's trying to get in to the NCAA tournament. This is going to be fun. Okay, that's going to be a fun one. Kentucky, they play South Carolina 17-10. Kentucky, they need this win bad. They could be messing around and play on the bubble line if they don't take this seriously, right? They need to beat South Carolina. Morehead State 17-12. They play Southern Indiana. I think it's Southern Indiana. Bradley's 19-10. They play UIC, and Michigan is 25-2. They play Minnesota. Okay, and Arizona 25-2. They play 14-13. Baylor. Utah plays Iowa State, who's number 4. Missouri, this is going to be a big one. Missouri on the SEC Network, they play Tennessee, who's ranked 22 in the country. Okay, Colorado State plays Fresno State. Arizona State plays TCU. I told you, this is going to be crazy. Boise State and Wyoming play against each other. And in Miami and Florida State, they play against each other. Those are games that's going to be real, real wild. UCF has some upset wins. Upset wins, right? They have a chance to go on the road and beat BYU, who's ranked 19, 20-7. They have a chance to beat them. New Mexico and Nevada are both in great position to make the tournament. Cannot wait. That's going to be fun. Nevada's 18-9. New Mexico is 21-6. Cannot wait to watch that one. And this is a bubble game right here. This is a game that these teams at 11 p.m. on FS1, this is going to be amazing. Okay? USC comes in against UCLA and plays against UCLA. They're both 18-9. That's going to be a fun one, okay? That's going to be a fun one. Overall, I am excited. I can't wait to talk about other games that's going to be coming on Wednesday. Okay, big games coming on Wednesday and stuff like that. And Thursday. And, hey, going into a weekend, you already know how we're going to do business. Overall, it's been great. This weekend's been magical for college basketball and the NBA. Dead serious. And then Monday or Tuesday is going to be real special. And then we're going to talk about the rest of the week of sports, man, when it comes to college basketball, man, and the NBA. If y'all like the channel, please hit the like button and the subscribe button if you like the videos and you like the channel. Please do that for me. Hit the bell notification to know when I post and upload new videos. Please. Be safe out there. The weather, depending on where you at, it's starting to get a little bit snowing more. But I'm telling you, we're going to creep up, man. When it hit the March, April, May, the weather going to be better. All right, appreciate y'all, man. Love all y'all. Peace.